A very good evening to you. You're watching news on Prime TV. First, we take a look at tonight's top stories. The president claims he surmounted challenges as he respected democracy and the law. Presidential candidate K. Sivajalingam states that the world has endorsed the treatment meted out to the displaced by the government. Minister G.L. Pires exposes the inside story of the EU recommendation not to grant the GSP facility. Sri Lanka ranked second in stock market performances. And overseas, an explosion near a mosque in Pakistan kills 4 people. Now for the news in detail. The President's maiden public rally, organised with the aim of ushering in a brighter future for the country, was held in Anuradhapura with the participation of a mammoth gathering. The entire public grounds in Anuradhapura resembled a sea of heads. According to our production team, it was an uphill task for the police to control the crowds that converged on the grounds. Blue flags were fluttering in the Anuradhapura town and its suburbs. Our correspondent said that people of all walks of life started to reach the venue of the public meeting from all sides. Among the many parliamentarians present were Maithripala Sirisena, D.M. Jayaratna, Dinesh Gunawardena, Nimal Siripala de Silva, Andra Priyadarshana Yapa, T.B. Ekanayaka, Thissa Karliyatha, Salinda Disanayaka, Keheliya Rambukwalla, S.B. Navinna and Vimal Veeravansa, and Chief Minister Bertie Premlal Disanayaka. S.B. Disanayaka, Johnston Fernando and Indika Bandarnayaka, who crossed over from the United National Party to strengthen the president, were also on the stage. President Rajapaksa has underscored that he succeeded in surmounting strong challenges which surfaced as he respected democracy and the law. He was addressing the annual general meeting of the Judicial Officers Association.
ඇති ප්‍රජාතන්ත්‍රවාදී රාජ්‍ය පාලනය පිළිබඳව දැඩි විශ්වාසයක් අපි තුල තියෙනවා. ඒ තුලින් තමයි අපි රටක් පාලනය කළ යුත්තේ. එක ආයතනයකට බලයක් අනෙක් ආයතනයට වගකීමත් උරුමයක් කියලා දෙයක් නැහැ.
The President said that they had confidence in democratic governance through the legislative, the executive and the judiciary. It is through this that the country was being ruled. Responsibility is not vested in one institution. The responsibilities are equally distributed among these 3 institutions. However, what is important is that these had not inherited on them. These have been entrusted on them by the people. If they work without awareness, a different situation would arise. The President pointed out that what they wanted was to consolidate the sovereignty of the motherland as mentioned in the Constitution. The President said he succeeded in wiping out terrorism which plagued the country for 3 decades. What is left was to wage the development war. The President said the government solicited the support of the judicial sector to achieve this goal. Chief Justice Ashoka De Silva made a special address. Among those who graced the occasion was Minister Milinda Muragoda.
A media briefing of the Left Front and the Tamil National Alliance was held in Colombo today.
Expressing views to the media, M.K. Sivajalingam, who is a presidential candidate, said that the United Nations and other countries had accepted that the Sri Lankan government was meeting all the facilities of the displaced. The government had also taken action to fulfill their requirements. Mr. Sivajalingam said Vikramabahu Karunaratne and he were clearly aware that they could not win the presidential election. Left Front presidential candidate Dr. Vikramabahu Karunaratne also expressed his views.
On more local stories, the European Union has recommended not to grant the GSP Plus facility to Sri Lanka. Minister Professor G.L. Piris has queried as to what made the European Union to make such a recommendation at a decisive moment of the motherland.
There is a recommendation by the European Commission temporarily to withdraw GSP Plus benefits from Sri Lanka. It is not the final decision. The final decision has to be taken by the 27 countries comprising the European Union. Now, our position is that this recommendation is extremely unfair. It is unwarranted and unjust. There is clear evidence that we are making progress. In that situation, why is it that the European Commission has decided to make this statement on the very day that the presidential campaign is starting? This is a biased decision. We have said so in writing to the European Commission. This is a decision that is motivated by political factors, and there is a high degree of prejudice. I think the facts must be known to the people. Benita Ferrero-Waldner told me at this official meeting, the war is never, never, never going to solve any problem for your country. Never, never, never. You can never win this war. We have been telling you this for a long time. You have chosen to ignore us. We have now in our hands a powerful weapon which we will not hesitate to use against you. Now, GSP Plus is not a powerful weapon at all. Our position is that in order to get GSP Plus, we are certainly not prepared to surrender the sovereignty and the self-respect of this country.
Minister Dallas Salha Peruma today expressed views to the media on the objection raised by presidential candidate Sarath Kongahage against the New Democratic Front candidate. Mr. Kongahage's argument is that Sarath Fonseca is not a Sri Lankan but a US citizen. This dispute was much talked about in the judicial as well as in the legal sectors. This issue had been raised by the candidate's election campaign spokesman Mangala Samaraveera. He had mentioned this with responsibility. The Lakbima newspaper on 16th February 2009 had quoted Mangala Samaraveera as saying that they were calling on the United States to get back their citizen who was undermining democracy in Sri Lanka. This should not be taken into account as a mudslinging campaign. In the Irudena newspaper, he had said that Sarath Fonseca was attempting to get his retirement age extended by saying that Kilinochchi would very soon be attacked. After saying so, he had suddenly left for the United States for a 2-week tour at a time when a major battle was waged against the terrorists. Minister Alaha Peruma said that Mangala Samaraveera had made this reference at that time that Sarath Fonseca had done so to protect his US green card and appear on behalf of his US citizenship. The government refutes allegations made by the opposition leader outside the country that civilians in welfare villages will not enjoy the right of exercising their vote. Briefing the media in Colombo today, Minister Susil Premjayant said all citizens had been assured their right to vote after 30 years. The minister said that the opposition leader had completely forgotten that at the last presidential polls and elections during the